the show.
All right, here we are. What up, Jet? What's the worry, man?
Professor, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, but
for us, not for you guys.
They won't know that. It's a steady drop every week for our fans.
Every Thursday. Hit the notification button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Every Thursday, dropping.
Something new in your box.
Yep, there it is. And speaking of new, Oculto.
Oculto, man. So that's what we're doing today. We are talking to Gerson from Oculto. Drummer extraordinaire.
Mexico City's own.
Mexico City's own Oculto.
Yes. Yeah, so he's going to, we got a few minutes. We got about another 4 minutes before he calls in. And we're going to have him up on the screen, and we're going to talk to him about all things Oculto. Now, he is one of two, right?
One of two, yeah. They are the power duo, the Doom duo of the Mexican Doom scene.
Right.
Absolutely. So Oculto was one of the first bands that I hooked up with after Satanico.
Right.
They hit me up. They sent me a message, sent me a link to their stuff. I checked out their videos, listened to them, and was just fucking blown away with their sound and their style, their whole approach to the whole thing. Bass and drums. That bass is fuzzed out.
Yeah.
Super massive.
Heavy. Yes.
Heavy as fuck. And then the drums are just this tribal pounding.
Yeah, he's got his own unique style.
He's got his own thing going on. Yeah.
He plays it a very different way. Hopefully we get to ask him about that.
He doesn't just hang back in the pocket and go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got a whole thing going on, man. Really fucking cool.
And I mean, that's what doom metal allows you to do. You can literally, it's not, I know it's cliche to say you express yourself through music, but with doom, you have a lot more space to do it with. You're not trying to hit that 4/4 every tenth of a second.
I think when there's just two guys in the band, just two players, they each can fill a lot more space, right, with what they're doing.
Right.
You know, really, a lot of room for creativity there.
Yeah, because you're
explore the darkness.
Literally not sharing the stage with two other guitars or whatever you're composing your band with. It's just two of you.
Yeah.
I'll pop that. Hope you guys all heard that. That is beer.
We got to get these guys to sponsor us. That's what we need.
So wait, no, we're gonna turn this one around because we're not drinking the Wanted sponsor today.
Oh yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, I didn't buy that at the.
Not saying that one day when we reveal what this is, which you all fucking probably know what this is if you're from the right area. Not that we don't love you, but we've got one lined up in all our other episodes. We've openly said we want them to sponsor.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah,
if they hook us up or not, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so we're gonna talk to Oculto, one of the first bands on the label, and then they have 3.
We've got 3. Yeah, they got 3 releases out on Things From Beyond.
Yeah, all available on the website.
Yeah. So we got 2 vinyl LPs and then a live cassette, which we recorded back in 22 when we did that show down in Mexico City.
Right.
And recorded everybody. The Halloween show. It was a really, really fucking great night.
Yeah.
And that was we got videos of it as well, so we'll cut in one of those videos in here into the show, one of the performances.
We showed one of those. Did we show one of those performances in an earlier episode?
From Satanical Pandemonium, we did.
It was from the same show.
From the very same show, yeah. So this will be from the Oculto set.
Nice.
Of that same gig at the same place.
And we'll also be playing a track from a tape track from
we'll play if we can get that tape player to work and to agree with us. We'll do that. It worked okay for the Weed Snake interview. I think we're able to get it to work. So if we can get it to replicate that, we can get it to work again. It'll be cool.
Oh,
totally.
And speaking of which, look who just
all right. He's in
the waiting room.
Okay, here we go.
So let's get this going.
All right.
What's up?
Hello,
man?
my friend.
How you doing, dude?
What's up?
Welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast.
We're glad you're here, man. We're really glad that this worked out. We got you on here.
How are you doing?
Good, man. We're doing pretty good, dude.
We're on our 8th episode now.
Yeah, this is the 8th episode of this podcast, man. So you're number 8.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay, so real quick, man, can you pronounce your name for us?
Yeah, it's Gerson.
Gerson, okay, yeah. Gerson.
But you can call me whatever you want.
All right, Gerson.
Okay, Gerson from Oculto, man. So, we want to talk about Oculto, man. We want to hear all about Oculto, about the records.
Well,
You got the
Oculto
got the tape.
was uh, a choice because Adam and I we we spent our whole life, musical life, in another kind of music,
Okay.
and we find these no new sounds in stoner doom,
Yeah.
and we decide to make this project. In the beginning, we decide to make this kind of different band. That's why we decide to make this duo band,
Okay.
just bass and drums,
Yeah.
because we decide to make some different to the conventionally bands, and we started to like just spend time with my friend, but start to doing songs, project more the how was the, the project, no, how can I be, yeah, we start to do more songs and project more the visionary of what we can do with this project. And well, we started to recording our first record in 2019.
Yeah.
uh, Honestly, we I don't expect too much, because
Yeah.
I have this this history with my other bands was like I don't expect too much,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I see a lot of good reaction about the people who listen the material, the first material of Oculto, and that's made me, continue with more energy and this.
Okay.
And just this record just was edited by one label in CD format,
Hmm.
but was very very have very good received to the people
Yeah.
and the magazines and the labels, and they start to do another record with more vision, more ambition too, because we 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 find a new sounds, and we would like to reply it in our music.
Yeah.
And then we have the opportunity to work with you guys. Was amazing because also you with when you sign us, you project us more in internationally,
Ah.
and
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
helped us a lot
Yeah.
because we can started to organize our first trip to Europe,
Yeah.
and 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 make our third record, and now we are going to, well, we have more expectations to make more music and visit more countries in the future.
So yeah, man. I was curious about the name Oculto. And is there anything interesting about how that came about? What made you pick that name?
Well, Oculto, the name was idea from Adam. Uh, when I know this guy, very curious way,
Hmm.
I think. Uh, he has all the thing. He has the logo, the name, the concept, but they don't have music. And when I when I meet him, with they have he has all the imagine,
Hmm. Yeah.
but he has no music, and we start to do. But well, we thought in some another day names, but I think was this is the name who deserve this project, because I think the all names we think about it was very usual, and it's very easy to learn the name
Yeah.
and remember. That's why.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Memorability. Be able to sticks in their
Yeah,
head.
that's it.
It's a cool
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
So, what about the sound? The bass and the drums. That's pretty unique. So, how did that come about?
Well, Adan is a very, very great bassman player.
Mhm.
He has a very technical about his instrument, but we found all the emotions and feeling in this kind of music. To play this kind of music is not that difficult technically called it,
Yeah.
but it's more like a feeling thing.
Okay. Emotional.
And yeah, it's much emotional because I don't know. For me, play drums, play doom is not that difficult, like
Yeah.
play death metal. It's kind of,
Yeah.
but for me, uh, just listen the just the only bass from this guy with these effects for me was enough.
Yeah.
I don't need a guitar with this guy. This guy plays fucking awesome,
Yeah.
and for me was like revelation for me. And I'm very excited to participate in this kind of project because it's different. Yeah.
So why Doom? What is it about Doom that appeals to you as a musician?
Oh fuck! I think it's all the situation we have with the music industry.
Okay.
I think we are very angry about it, just a little, and we need this kind of sounds, aggressive sounds,
Okay.
uh, because uh, also we live in this kind of city, Mexico City. You
Hmm.
you you visit once,
Yeah.
and you can see this is very surreal and wild and too much chaos. And we need to this kind of music to calibrate, our energy because for me it's more peaceful and I feel better playing this kind of music than playing death metal. Death metal for me is too much stress, too much technically, and
Yeah.
to be,
Yeah.
and this kind of on music I can relax much better
Hmm.
and I can feel it better. That's
Yeah.
why I like this kind of music because I can feel it just right there.
Right. Well, can you tell us about how Mexico City, living in Mexico City, how that influences your creativity and what you're doing with the Oculto?
Oh, I think it's a little the violence
Okay.
that we live every day in the traffic and with the people, normal people to crossing the street. All the people you can see that a little angry, a
Mm.
little stressed, a little, like I don't know. And we, I when I see all these things, I'm just thinking an aggressive music,
Okay.
I can thinking and flowers and kind of love and kind of things because I can't. I see these people. I see these kind of things every day, and just in front of my house, I have this huge avenue, and every day is you can see an accident and car accident, kind of this.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe it's just the vibe
Hmm.
who involves you, and I don't know. Maybe it's just to see all these crazy things all every day and makes you I don't know maybe I need to get out these feelings of my body and the music is the best way to do it. I'm sorry guys, my English is but too limited.
No, your English is
No,
great,
no,
man.
it's very good.
Yeah.
No, we because that's
Thank
I
you.
mean we're that's kind of part of these interviews. We want to get out of these band members what it is like the influences around you that are finding its way into your sound into the music because that's like you said that's this music's about getting into it. You have to sink into it. The green helps a little bit to
Yeah,
help you do that, but also just knowing what the
yeah,
song's about and kind of relating to it as best you can. And that's what we want to hear from you guys.
yeah,
We want to hear what is making you
yeah.
make those riffs and those sounds.
Yeah. So, you want to
Yeah.
talk about this
Oh,
record
well,
here?
¿es Penumbra?
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about Penumbra,
¿Es
man. How the
Penumbra o Mal de Ojo?
the first
Penumbra.
one? Yeah, Penumbra. Yeah.
Well, Penumbra was very wild to recording this because I remember when I go to the studio with Adan, this time was very difficult. We have a little problems with my partner, and was very tensions,
Yeah.
And I think it sounds a little because it was very tensions, and at the same time was uh, very easy to record her because we are very angry, and this kind of sensation to rush and to make the things happen quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it works perfectly to make this kind of bad energy in the moment to record her, because at the same time, the name of the album is it means like a darkness in the ambient,
Yeah.
and 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 that's the thing that happened in the recorders for this album. The whole vibe was very tense and dark.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. There's no messing around in the studio. You're getting things done.
Yeah, yeah. No. We don't have the opportunity to.
Yeah. So is this the first album released
Yeah.
from the band on things on the
Yeah.
label?
This is their first one with us.
Okay.
And then we did the tape. Remember
Yeah.
this live tape? Yeah. Yeah. So this was a fun night. You remember the show we put on with all the bands, and we recorded all
Yeah, it was
these?
very fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
Oh, it was a very special night for me because it was Halloween, and I can see one of my favorite bands in Mexico is Sementales Salvajes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I fucking love this band,
Mm-hmm.
and play with him and share the stage and share friends. It's so fucking amazing. And also meet uh, in person was very amazing too.
That was really special for me, was meeting everybody in person and getting to hang out with everybody and share some beers and watch the bands play live. That was a really cool thing. And then to be able to record it and capture it and
Yeah,
and be able to make something out of it. It was a really
was a good
special.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
It worked out well.
I mean, we play all these shows and we never realize how important it is to capture these live events,
Yeah.
whether it be on audio, video. Hopefully, you get both. And I think you recorded some
Yeah,
of it too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we filmed it. We recorded. So we got the tapes, and then we filmed all the bands play.
Yeah.
So we were able to put some live performances up on YouTube, and so people could see Oculto play live and Weedsnake play live, and
awesome.
Botanico. It was really cool.
You should come again and make
Uh,
another show.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
Yeah, because like a band, we love to go to USA to with you, but it's very difficult for us now
Yeah, we
tripping.
yeah, that was.
It's better you came.
Yeah, you're
It's more
right.
easy.
It's easier for us to go to Mexico than it is to get you guys up here to the U.S.
Yeah.
We tried
Yeah,
to do
it's
that, and it
more easy.
just couldn't make it work. It's just too hard to get visas and everything for everybody. We tried with Weedsnake to get them up here, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah,
So
And here's the thing for everybody out there watching.
yeah, it's
You
difficult.
will know.
It's very hard.
yeah,
No, I was just letting the folks watching, hopefully they're watching this podcast. You will know the second we get one of these bands
oh,
up there.
absolutely, yeah.
You will-
It'll be big news
Yeah.
if we're able to pull that off.
That'll be a whole episode
Yeah.
about the show, who we got to come up here,
Yeah.
how we got it done. That's just to tell you how crazy it is to get a band up here.
Yeah, just I think
Yeah, you
easy.
should.
It's going to be easiest to go to Mexico.
Yeah, you should come very soon.
That's a good plan. That's a really good idea, man.
So
Totally.
wait, how did you did you find out about Oculto? How did you guys end
Yeah,
up to make this album?
So I think they emailed me. Yeah. I think you guys contacted me. We'd put out the Satanico vinyl, and I think we did Sementales.
The first one.
Yeah, first. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we linked up.
Ah,
Yeah, you guys contacted me, and I heard listened to your previous recordings and loved the sound, and was
yeah.
like, okay, this is awesome. This is exactly what we're trying to do. Absolutely, got another great band from Mexico City, and we worked it out.
There's a funny thing about this because
Yeah.
uh, the, when we released this album, Things from Beyond was very in the beginning,
Yeah.
and we don't know too much about, and we write to all the labels from all the world
Really?
to make the contact, but
Yeah.
nobody contacts, nobody
Wow.
answer us
Really?
really, and
Wow.
just remember this thing that how why don't you why we don't write you well or write to Things from Beyond, and I remember that send the message, and I think the next day you say, okay, I like your stuff. You want some vinyls? Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was
Hey, man.
fucking amazing.
So yeah, I mean that's right. That's the story of almost 90% of bands trying to make it. They put out the
Yeah,
flyer, they put out the feelers and
And
crickets.
someone's got to say yes.
Yeah, yeah, and all you need is
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
have to do this.
Yeah.
yeah, and most of the time that one is usually the one who's been looking for you the whole time. You know, it's
Yeah,
like you're perfect for this label. Come
Yeah.
on, let's go.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
yeah. Very awesome, guys.
Okay, so let's talk about this one, Mal de Ojo.
Mal de Ojo. Okay,
Yeah, how did that
Mal
come
de
about?
Ojo is our recently record.
Mm-hmm.
We present this the record in Europe. It was the idea to make this tour,
Yeah.
and this record was very uh, different way because we recorded with magnetic tape,
Yeah.
uh, and that makes you has more sorry less capacity to fail, because
Mm.
if you play bad, you have to get back the tape and record it over
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know
The overdub.
and we have to do it and the ones just in one take, and but we feel very very um very easy to do it,
Hmm.
working with this guy from this studio, Testa Studio. This guy is called well, nickname Cabe. He's a very genius guy,
Mm.
he helped us a lot to make more security to play in the moment when recorder.
Yeah.
And well, the concept of this album was and the same. We took some kind of things of our city. Mal de ojo
Mm.
means when you curse someone
Yeah.
just when looking,
Yeah.
Oh,
because
the look.
Yeah. The evil eye.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad luck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and because we feel in this shit every day in our city, and we try to make new sounds and exploring these sounds and introduce these sounds in this record. We're trying to do something different,
Mm.
make more samples and make more
Yeah.
ambient,
Yeah.
and all the thing is thinking about it, the darkness and the surreal life. And that's the result. This record was very fun to do it. Really, really, I enjoyed very very much to do it. This record.
And you guys hit on a very key thing that think I'm starting to see
Mm.
that your Doom fan wants. They don't want the rehearsed, repeated, overdubbed album that's perfect.
Yeah,
Live.
they want your live
Live.
performance.
Raw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
Analog. Yeah.
So there's no
yeah.
need to yeah.
We think we need to evolve,
Mm.
but we don't know uh, we think that this for me, this is my very very personality opinion. For me, I hate this when one band starts to play very hard and with the time start you know to low quality,
Yeah.
Okay.
and uh, and for me it's very important to keep the same intention, the same energy, but at the same time find some change, to more dynamic and no boring the people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like on that note, what fascinates me about the song composition in Doom is, you know, because the songs can be really long and then it can be complex. Like,
Ah,
what's your process of like going? All right, that's a song. You know, how do you
okay.
figure out where a song comes from?
Sometimes my partner Adam, he has one riff, and when riff heals, and he showed me this riff and start to, okay, this part I don't like it. This part, when start to make an exploring and experimental, because
Right.
is very experimental way. We start to play this riff and not just another, and it's a lot to feel.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
feel something that I don't like it,
Yeah.
I reject this shit.
Yeah.
When I feel this, oh, this sound is very fucking cool. Yeah, I we can repeat. It's really boring, is if you like, but I enjoyed it a lot when I start to do new music with this guy, because he's very creative guy, and I think I'm support this guy because he brings with this riff, and he bring me this trust to my opinion,
Yeah.
and make the change together, and it's very fun. It's very fun. And sometimes I play guitar too. I have sometimes these riffs too,
Right.
and I bring with these riffs to the hills and start to do the same,
Right.
to do the all the you know all
Yeah.
the things to
Does
make a
it
song.
Would it be fair to say that a lot of Doom songs, and I'm not just speaking of Oculto period, but just they're probably never played the same way twice live, or is that
Yeah,
overstating? Yeah,
yeah, no, we don't like this.
yeah. So it's different, like almost every time live, slightly different,
Yeah,
you know.
we try to make all the songs different, but at
Right.
the same time to keep in the line
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
these sounds.
because you know
Yeah,
bands
because
will, yeah, bands, you
it's,
know,
it's
certain, yeah,
for us it's true, because like a musician, it's very, you can bore it out on your own songs too,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
and I don't like it feel like this. That's why I prefer to working hard in these songs to
Yeah.
make the most possibility to 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 will be good for me, because the first and the first is for my taste, own taste, then I invite and everyone to enjoy my music, but and the first person is for me,
yeah.
because this is the music I
Right.
like to listen.
So I want you to know, and this is my personal list, and the professor doesn't know about this just yet, but you're tied for first on my favorite album cover on the label so
Yeah,
far. This album cover,
really.
That cover is awesome.
I
Yeah.
remember when he first
Yeah,
showed me this. I got to this cover and I'm like, let me see that. I want to see, let me get
Yeah.
a closer
Yeah.
look. So right now you're tied with what's the band that has the triangle?
Oh, Tenebrae.
Tenebrae. So
and everybody.
you and Tenebrae are number one on my personal list for best album cover, and
Hey,
that's
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
all love to the rest of the label guys. It's just my list. It's not an official Things from Beyond list. It's just a cool cover.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Tell us about the cover, man. How did you come up with that idea? And
Okay, the
yeah.
idea was for the artist.
Yeah.
Just is the artist is Diego Verao, is our friend of us, and we talk with him. We bring these ideas, but we have the totally free creativity, from him,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because we trust a lot in his work. There's a very very cool guy drawing, and you just tell this guy the ideas we have, and give him all the trust to make the whatever he want, and that's the result. When when I see the first time the cover, I don't need to see another one.
Yeah.
Was just perfect for us.
Yeah.
It's funny to hear you say that because, like, now I see it. One of those ideas that was shared was cauldron and baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the baby is very important.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us
Because
why.
the curse of the evil eye is in the children.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
that started with the children, and that's why it's very important for us. The show to show all the evil,
Mm.
the whole the context.
So is this kind of considered? Would this be considered like the origin of the evil eye? This is kind of like the
Yeah, it's
ceremony
kind of,
where it
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Okay, now
because it's
now it's even cooler. Yeah, that's
is the
cool.
evil with a witch in this
Yeah.
ceremony to put this baby.
Oh, because I see it now, right? Because yeah, okay, maybe I'm reading into it, but you have all these little demons flying out into
Yeah,
the sky, and they're spreading the evil eye. They've been unleashed.
yeah, it's like that. You got it.
Okay, you might be number one now, because one of the big things that we discuss on this physical media and the things that we know used to sell records were record covers.
Yeah,
It is
I know.
it
It's very
is it,
important.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first impression, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
this kind of music is very cool to see. All these bands has very cool covers in his albums. It's very cool for me. It's very fun to see all these cover albums because all of them is very 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 cool.
Everyone
Seems
puts their
like
personal
it's
touch on
very,
it.
it
Yeah.
has to be very precision and very creative to make something to say something in the first contact with the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This important thing, the imagine.
What I wanted you, if you could describe the way you play drums, your approach to how you play percussion and drums, your style. If you
How
could kind of
how
describe.
how I learned or how
Well,
was
well, the way that you play, the style,
the way?
yeah, and the creative
Okay,
approach
how is the
to
way?
playing. Yeah, how do you play your drums? If you could
I,
just kind of talk about that, I think it's pretty unique compared to other doom metal drummers. You know?
oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, for me, was very difficult to play slow. You
Mm.
know,
Okay.
I usually play thrash metal, cross punk. Very hard, very aggressive, very speed.
Yeah.
When I start to play Doom, was very fucking hard because I look at I don't know play drums. you know, because playing slow is very difficult to play fast. And for me, it was like a start to learn to play drums again.
Mm.
And it was very, very difficult, but at the same time, very, um, I don't know how I say it. It's very, uh, mm,
Would you say rewarding?
uh, no, not really. Like, uh, I approach, I don't know, no, no. I forgot the word. But my point is like, playing drums in this kind of gender for me is more fun that play something more difficult because for me was I don't know I'm enough to this kind of technical shit of drummers,
Mm-hmm.
and for me this music makes me more freedom to make everything. I can put my arm like this, and you know for me it's more freedom, and that's it. That's the music for me. I
Very
fucking hate
cool.
these bands when it's very technical and
Yeah.
mathematically shit. And
Yeah.
for me, it's like, okay, no, I don't want it. I don't want this anymore because it's too much stress
Yeah.
to play it. And for me, was the whole thing was I have the freedom to make my moves, to play wherever I want,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. That's my new stuff. I love play this music. That's why, because it's just freedom. It's freedom.
Yeah. No, it sounds like
Yeah.
I used to have a belief that the better I got at guitar, I'd be freer to play whatever I
Mm.
want. But you see a
Yeah,
lot of guys get stuck into their, I'm this style of guitar player
Yeah.
because that's the way they learned it.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we relearned your instrument. You relearned it from a
Relearn it. Yeah.
different perspective.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting. Yeah. Taking a different perspective on
nice.
a
Thanks,
different
guys.
style. Very cool.
What is next for Oculto? What do you guys got coming up?
We have some dates in the country the next months in this year, and we working with Santa Sangre, we a friend of us from Merida, a
Yeah.
great band, to make a split with a band from Japan called Heavy Katana.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be putting that
And
out later this year. Yeah.
maybe we hope to make this possible this very quickly, because we want to go to Japan next year to play
Oh,
in
yeah.
Tokyo
That'd
Doom
be
Fest
awesome.
with these
Yeah.
guys.
That would be really
Yeah.
That
cool.
would be cool.
Yeah, that would be really
Yeah,
cool.
I hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And
might be
yeah,
a good
that
way to promote the
and
split.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah,
yeah,
we're looking forward to putting that
absolutely.
split out. We're trying to find one more band from Japan, so that one side
Okay,
of the record will be Mexico, and the other side of the record will be Japan. So right now we have Oculto and Santa Sangre
awesome.
from Mexico, but we only have Heavy Katana from Japan. So we need one more Japanese band to finish it off, and then we can put it
It will
together.
be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
we can work in this. We can
Yeah.
put the work in this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So hit up those bands from
Awesome.
Japan.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I think we'd have to make a trip out.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we totally
With you
go
guys.
to Tokyo with Oculto, man,
Yeah.
and that'd be awesome. Yeah, we can go to
Yeah.
Japan with you guys.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
you
Yeah.
should uh, come with us to to share your label to with these guys from Japan
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
that would
and
be
That's
make
what
cool.
we
this
need to
contact,
do.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it will be awesome.
I think we're good, man. This is a
Okay.
great
Yeah,
interview.
this was really cool talking to you, man. I really appreciate you giving us your
Thank you
time
so much.
and
Yeah.
and talking to
No,
us
no
about the
problem.
records and the music. It's really great to hear from you. Good to see you again. And
Yeah, me
hopefully
too,
we
huh,
can
my friend.
see you again soon
Hold on,
and
before you
talk
go
in
though.
person.
You see the set, so we should start asking since until we get a name. We should start asking these guys.
Oh, what they want?
You see the set,
Yeah.
right?
See all
You see
that?
everything.
Yeah,
What would you think we should call this? We're trying to figure out a name for this place.
a name.
Yeah.
Okay, from
You
this.
don't have to come up with it right now, but if hit us up. If it pops in your head, leave a comment on the podcast or in the
Well,
comment section.
well, let me ask, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Like, what does this look like to you?
Like looks like a fuck room. No, no, no.
Well, okay. That is fair. Yeah.
I would love to fuck in this room.
That's actually all right. Okay.
The fuck room. Okay. All right.
There's too much record to listen, and make love is the better way.
Okay, so that's our first entry into name the studio.
The fuck room.
Hey,
Yeah.
after some of the insert art that we looked at on a couple episodes, it's fitting because there's some wild insert art, some wild cover art in the world of Doom. Yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
If someone's seen the previous episodes, then he's on
that's,
point.
That's spot on. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. All right,
Okay.
excellent, man.
Great talking to you, man, and thank you again.
Thank you so
for your
much, my
time.
friends.
And for
You're
all the great
awesome.
music, and we're looking forward to more Culto and to just
Yeah, absolutely.
keeping it all going.
You too. Keeping with this resistance, and your label is fucking awesome. Thank you so much for your support, for supporting Mexican bands, because it's very important for us. We don't have the opportunity to show to the whole world this kind of music, and thanks to you, our music is go to whole world. And thank you so much for this. This is very important for us. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Much
We
love,
appreciate it.
man. And say hi to Aden for me, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right, man.
Adios.
Be
See you
safe,
later.
amigos. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you
much.
too. All right. Adios, man.
Bye.
Well,
That
okay.
was dope. That was so awesome talking to him.
Man, what a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like so we talked about this a little bit off camera.
Yeah.
About how we really want to get these guys to open up about the things that are influencing them and their sound.
Yeah.
And
he went there, man. He was ready for it. He was ready to talk about that.
I was like, all right. And he went on for a good bit about it. And he had been thinking about that for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool getting him to talk about that, getting us to tell us about like what's going on in Mexico City and how that influences his creative and emotional approach to how he pounds the fuck out of those drums.
A lot of apparently
fucking
a lot of anger.
A lot of anger there. He's a sweet guy, but he's got a lot of fucking.
It's the city.
Yeah,
it's
no
the city.
shit. Dude, Mexico City is a big, crazy fucking place.
Yeah.
And no shit, living there every day, and that's your life.
Right.
You know, it's gonna fucking affect you.
Yeah.
In creative ways and emotionally, and you know, like you're gonna react to it, you're gonna respond to it, and you know, dude just found a way to fucking
That's what I was
beat
gonna say.
them drums and fucking get it all out there.
Luckily for him, he found a very creative outlet to do it instead of something else that's a little more self-destructive.
Yeah. You can hear it in his playing. You can hear it in the stuff that we're playing from the band, from Occulto. Like you can fucking hear that. It's fucking. It's got this angry edge to it, even though it's doom, so it's a little slower.
Yeah.
But it's got there's something else in the sound.
Yeah.
You know that's responding to all of that, and that was really interesting hearing him talk about that.
Well, because when we played the first track, right, and we heard the story about the cover art for the second album, I got him mixed up. I was like, oh, is this this is the opening seance music, what's playing in the background? He's like, no, man, this is the first album. I was like, oh, they're on that tip. They're already on that tip. Dick.
So the first album, Penumbra,
let's take a look.
That was so this is Oculto's first release with us, and we played a little bit of this on the first episode. We played Satanica, and we just now played De La Penumbra, which is like the title track. So this was recorded during the pandemic, and this is very much their artistic response to all of that.
Yes. Yeah.
So not only do they live in a place like Mexico City, and he was talking about how it's crazy and violent and big and just insane.
Yeah.
And then you throw in a fucking pandemic on top of that shit.
Right.
You know, and, you know, bands just trying to fucking be creative and record a record, and all of that just fed into, you know, what they were doing. And they had to hurry, like they couldn't go in there and fuck around. They didn't have a lot of time. And, you know, so that's why this record has just this edge to it. And, you know, it was really cool hearing him talk about that, because I, you know, really only kind of loosely knew the general ideas behind the record, that it was during the pandemic and whatnot, and but like hearing his personal approach to it all and what he was trying to get out artistically, you know, behind the drum kit, and it was really cool, and I could fucking hear it all now. It all clicks.
Well, we've said several times about the heavy cloud of doom, how it just kind of sits, and it's like, all right, on top of that, there's a pandemic, you know, and it's just like this is a very visceral form of explaining what we mean when we say the heavy cloud of doom. I know many of you get it, but here's a very good example.
No
of that.
shit. Yeah, these are two guys that are just feeling like actual doom. You know, they're not just fans of a music style, right? But like they feel fucking doomed. You know, if they turn down the wrong corner, you know, darkness really does await.
We love you, Mexico City, but it's true.
Yeah, right? It's an amazing place, but, you know, no shit. Yeah. Dude, when I was fucking down there to record for this show in 2022, went down there to record all these bands live.
Right.
And that was a show where I met Weed Snake.
Right.
There was a fucking mass shooting at a bar in the city.
Damn.
I don't know, 10 or 12 people were fucking killed.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it barely made the news.
Right.
You know?
Right. That would be,
you know, up here, it's a big fucking deal.
Headlines.
You know, but down there, it's like,
Right.
You know, and I'm not trying to dog on Mexico City, but like, Jesus Christ,
well,
you know, they got to deal with that shit all the time.
We're only referencing it in the context of it creates some serious doom metal music.
Right. Yeah. There is an artistic, creative response to the people that endure that.
Yeah.
And that's how they deal with it. That's what these guys deal with it.
Right.
They go in the fucking studio, they crank it up, fucking pound the shit out of them drums, and try and somehow creatively make a statement about that in some way.
Yeah, and this album fucking nailed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are they playing this one a similar tracks, or they're just playing a regular set?
They play. Actually, you know what, man? I don't think any of these songs are on that record.
Okay.
I think they played a bunch of different stuff. This song, Cali, made it to the second record, but that was it. None of the other stuff that they played on that set was on this record. So if you get this tape, you get a whole different thing. And
it goes back to what he said in the interview too, which is what what I love about it. I know what we all love about it is that, their songs, the way they write them, they're never played the same way live twice.
Yeah.
Which gives, like he said, gives him this creative freedom again to just be like, still stay in love with the song you're going to play a lot.
Yeah, they don't get bored. What do you say? Like, he doesn't get bored with his own songs.
Exactly.
Doesn't want to get bored with his own stuff.
And what a great genre to allow you to do that.
Right.
Because for example, I know I bring this up a lot. I know it's anecdotal, but in my punk rock band, we're like,
okay, all
right, we can't do like a breakdown remix jam medley of our 2-minute song. The most thing we can do is add a few more oys, which at the time was great. That's fine, but we can't really do that. First off, we're not talented enough to do that, but it's just not what we do, which is fine. That's good for that genre, but this allows you to do that. Play something different every time, even though it's the same song. And most of the time, the fans are going to be like, I know that song. Even though, it's a new part, or they didn't play it the same way, but I know that song.
Play it a little bit differently and express something a little bit different. Say something else.
Okay, so now we're going to listen to something off the second record, though.
Yeah,
right?
let's bust out that second record, man.
Okay, let's do
it. And then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, talk about my new favorite album cover.
Here we go.
Desaparecido. Señalo el sitio vacío donde los muertos se divierten. La noche penetrando y el glande inflado de tinta penetrando hacen el mismo ruido que la muerte penetrando. Asisto a su duración en lo instantáneo, silencio desorbitado. Su fiesta en lo opaco, en lo pleno, en lo plano. La atención lleva un blanco en la frente, lleva una capa negra de lirones despiertos. época en que la muerte entra muda, mudo mi cuerpo. Yo me impongo en tu muerte, yo guarezco tu muda. Tiempo de atenuación, tiempo de purificación, tiempo de lluvias constantes. El insensible vibra, el insensible soporta la noche, brota flores en mitad de la noche, en mitad de la página, sobre la panza de la muerte. La orfandad, hielo muy blanco la frente. El poema se abre. Esa es tu fuerza. La orfandad desfasionada ha comandado su vida a la barca invadida, hundida de muertos. Yo en la prosa de tu libro, en el barco de los muertos, entre volúmenes huecos mi cuerpo grafía a otro páramo, descargando letras, huesos, huecos, el poema se abre, esa es tu fuerza, el poema toma contacto, se desliza con brazos extendidos por las dos orillas, esa es tu fuerza, agarras de una trampa de lenguaje, el poema se abre, saltan tus muertos, clanes, danzas, interferencia de danzas, palincesto de danzas en lo oscuro, la oscuridad polarizada y danzas como las danzas de las abejas invariables, como sus movimientos ansiosos, para extenuar un lugar, para desocultar otro lugar, para fingir, invadir, para informar, danzas, voces tácitas, didactismos, espacios acopiados, estos muertos niños, señalando las palabras, estos muertos son niños.
So that was Estos Muertos Son Míos. That's what we were just listening to there, off of Mal de Ojo.
And we were trying to
Eye
figure
of
out the
Evil.
translation.
Yeah,
Death of
I
me.
think it. Yeah, the state of my death, or something to that effect. We'll have to ask the worldwide internet brain what that means. But that song is also, they also performed it live here on this on
Nice.
the live performance that we did, that we recorded there in 22 in Mexico City. So that was cool.
Yeah.
He was talking about this record too. They recorded this on tape.
Right. Yes.
So they didn't do it digitally where you could go back and easily drop back in and rearrange things and
Right.
cut and paste. Fuck no, it was all tape. If you fucked up, you got to go back to the beginning and
No
start
overdubs.
it all over
No
again.
overdubs. They were
Yeah.
like, they wanted to capture that right there, right now performance.
Yeah. And they did it at Testa Studio, which is like almost all of the stuff that we've released has been recorded at that studio. Like this magical studio in Mexico City where they just fucking get Doom right.
There's always the one studio, right?
Yeah.
That it's either where it's the jazz studio, the punk rock studio,
Yeah.
the
They're like
you
the
know?
Abbey. It's like the Abbey Road of Doom in
Yeah.
Mexico City. This place. We got to go down there and check that motherfucker out
yeah, we'll
easily.
definitely shoot some stuff there. And then of course, he told the story about the cover art, which
Yeah.
I think in the
was
previous
really
episode,
cool.
I'm certain I said this is one of the coolest covers.
Yeah.
And then when he told the
told
story,
a story about that about the somehow the children being like the ones that actually give off the evil eye.
the source, how it all started.
Yeah.
It started
Fuck.
with this sacrifice.
That was fucking heavy.
I'm
Like goddamn.
well, because looking at it, just as looking at the cover, you're like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And now you know the story. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn,
Oh,
that's
shit.
like,
Yeah, that's fucking deep,
Yeah.
dude. That's fucking dark as fuck.
because because what we were talking about, the album art could sell your record. Simple as that. This album art should sell this record just by looking at it and going like, I want to check that out.
It's very much what the record sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. Absolutely.
Yes.
And it really nailed the theme that they were going for, right?
Yeah, he was very happy when I put it all together and the goblins flying out to take the evil eye to
Yeah.
the rest of the world. He's like, you got it. That's it. I was like, oh, I see it now. I get it.
Yeah.
It's just spreading. Yeah.
So about the vinyl itself, we had kind of talked about that.
So this is the first of the eco.
yeah, so Eco Mix. So let me grab this off the
show
thing,
everybody.
and then we'll...
This is something that once you explain it, it makes total perfect sense.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about this in the first episode, but we can get back into it a bit here. So, yeah. So the reason why it looks like this crazy mishmash of all this shit is because that's what it is. So when you get Eco Mix, whenever they press the record, there's a whole bunch of leftover stuff on the outside called the flashing.
Right.
And then they put it on a little cutter, and it spins around, and it cuts off all the extra stuff, and they throw that into the bin.
Yeah.
And they recycle all that, melt it back down, turn it back into...
Because it's all the same
Yeah.
vinyl. It's all vinyl.
Right. And they've got a bunch of leftover little scraps that they can press a record with, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why we did this is because the plant was offering like a deal where you could get a colored record, Eco Mix, for the same price as black vinyl.
Right.
Black vinyl's a lot cheaper than color. They upcharge you. But the problem, or the unique thing, is you don't really have a lot of control over the color.
Grab bag.
So the it's funny, the ad that they had for this is like this beautiful like jewel green with some cloud in it.
I
I'm
love
like,
that. They
I was
picked
like,
the-
oh fuck yeah.
They picked the most perfect
Absolutely.
one.
Like,
that
this
they
shit
could
was
find.
gorgeous. Like, hell yeah, I want that. But there's this
Yeah.
tiny little disclaimer that it's not going to look any fucking thing like this.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of back and forth with the band about this. Like, okay, we can do this or that, but or for the same price as black, we can get a really unique colored record, but we can't guarantee what it's going to look like.
Right.
So this is Eco Mix, where it is a random grab of all kinds of leftover flashing from all manner of different pressings, different colors and stuff. So you have no idea what it's going to look like, right? So this is what we ended up with.
Yeah. You can. I don't
And
know.
and
yeah, you can
each
see it.
yeah, each one of them is different. Some have more black blobs and more green blobs, but overall you've got like this smashed kind of bubble gum looking, like you took one of those old rubber bouncing balls. It
Yeah.
was all
Yeah.
like you took one of those and just fucking smashed it and pressed a Doom record on it.
Because we know we all rip those things open.
Oh
and
yeah,
it'll
like
kinda
that's
look
what
like
you
a-
got. So
yeah.
that's what that's why you have all this. Why you've got a little bit of streaks of like blue and brown and red, and there's some orange in there. Like there's just and each individual record is
Yeah.
very different than the next
That's what I was gonna say.
because of that. So it's really unique and interesting, and it's but you don't know what you're gonna get whenever you click Eco Mix.
Yeah.
Whenever you click Eco Mix on the whenever you're placing
It's
the
a grab
order.
bag. Yeah.
So I had no idea what that was going to look like. I thought it was going to be green like the
Yeah, that jade. Well, that just had.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even they have an ability to probably angle it towards a certain color, because to get it
so
that green.
that's
with
the thing
mixture,
is that you can select kind of like recycled green, recycled red, but they
Yeah.
charge you the same price as the colored record.
Right.
Like for example, the Tenebrae record, that's eco graphite.
Okay.
Left over from gray.
Right.
From different grays, like
Yeah.
they kind of group it all together. But it's the same price as ordering a gray colored record, a colored album.
so
So
you
it costs
don't-
more than black.
You don't get the benefit. You still paying the price of a color.
Right.
record.
So if you want to even get anywhere close to selecting a color, you got to pay for it.
Of course.
But if you want some random mix,
Yeah.
hey, and you want to really roll the dice and see what happens, they
Yeah.
will let you do that at the same price as black. So I thought that would be kind of interesting to see what happens whenever
yeah.
we do that, and this is the result. And from our standpoint, it was the same price as pressing black records,
Well, you
and
gotta-
it came out really cool.
You got to be able to pay that intern who's separating all the leftover shit. That's and when it just falls into a bucket, they're like, we don't got to pay anybody for that. Cheaper record. There you go. So would it be ethical or not even ethical? Is it like, couldn't you say this is like a 1 of 500? This could be like a limited release, a special edition limited release, or is it so common that it's like, come on, buddy?
Well, I've never seen any other like mixed eco pressing that looks like this.
Right.
I mean, this is really unique.
Right.
Even the company, the presser, even the manufacturer was like, this is really unique looking. Like we've never seen a record come out
Really?
this
Oh, so
way.
they even
Yeah.
said it. Okay.
They were really like, wow, this actually looks really cool. We've never seen one that came out this
Wait.
way.
Or do they say that to all the record labels?
Maybe they do. Those assholes.
You're so special.
I'm a special, unique customer. I'm the best. I'm their favorite customer. They
But-
love Things From Beyond.
I could see how this is unique.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there a Taylor Swift album that fucking looks like that?
And I mean, 'cause-
I've never seen a record advertised that looks
No.
this way. I mean, so this is really a really unique record.
That's pretty
It was
cool.
really
Yeah.
cool. Really cool. And
So-
the band was really happy with it. They thought that was so cool.
it would be we would never do this to you guys, but some other label could just easily go like, yeah, this is a special 500 pressing limited edition. You'll never, this is 1 of 500. This is 2 of 500.
Well, if we did another eco mix, who knows what it's going to come out like? Because it's just like the random shit they have in the bin.
Yeah.
It might lean more red or lean more blue. I just shrug. You never know what it's going to be.
So, well, okay, that's interesting to say for the split that was coming up.
Yeah, that was that was really cool that he mentioned that.
Yeah.
So the next project with Oculto and one of the next projects that we have planned for Things From Beyond is a split with Japanese bands and some Mexican bands.
Yes.
And we're trying to find one more Japanese band to fill that void, right?
If you're out there, Japanese hard,
so it'll be
doom metal band.
yeah.
If
we
you're out
need
there
we need
watching
another
this,
Japanese doom metal band to hit us up so that we can put you on this split. So it'll be Mexico on one side and Japan on the other.
dude,
And then they
this-
want to, and Oculto was talking about they want to go to Japan to play some shows
Yeah,
with Heavy
yeah.
Katana, the other band that we already have set for the split. But the way I wanted to do it, I want 4 bands, 2 from Mexico, 2 from Japan. It'll be a Japan side and a Mexico side, and the art will kind of reflect that.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got some ideas for that. I won't really get into that yet. I kind of want that to be a surprise.
Absolutely.
What we got planned
From
for
what
that.
you told me, that sounds pretty cool.
But that is a really cool thing that we could line up You know, I just need one more band from Japan to even it out, and then that thing is ready to rock.
I mean, talk about the juxtaposition, right, of these two. I know the scene's bigger in Mexico, but the scene is probably minute in Japan.
Well,
maybe it might not be. Hopefully, it's great.
From
Hopefully
what I
huge.
understand, it's not real big.
Right.
You know, like I wouldn't call the doom metal scene in Mexico big, but there's a lot of bands that are very passionate and enthusiastic about it.
Right.
From what I've been able to ascertain about the scene in Tokyo, there's only 3 or 4 active bands that would fall into that category.
Right.
You know, there's just way more bands in Mexico playing that style than there are in Japan. But it's really cool that these two cultures that couldn't be more different, you know, there's somehow an intersection of this style of music, of the slow, heavy, psychedelic, you know, aggressive and emotional and mournful music, where they're reacting creatively and artistically to their situation, to the world around them.
And it'd be awesome to hear Heavy Katana's answer to that question of what about Tokyo does that to him, which I'm sure it'll be different from Oculto's answer.
Yeah.
But it's probably right there, you know.
Well, exactly. Tokyo is a massive, insane city.
Yeah.
And for an individual to just kind of walk about and look around and react to everything, like, you know, you've got to respond to it.
Yeah.
You've got to say something about it. You've got artistically, creatively something to express about that.
Especially if you're a musician. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't help but have it influence you.
Totally. Yeah.
So hopefully, folks, will be able to do some IRL streaming in Tokyo. That would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be phenomenal? We could do a show live from Tokyo.
We're going to do a show live from Tokyo. So we're just letting you know now, everybody.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna hook that up.
It's coming. It's in the works. Speaking of the works, we got this tape. Let's listen.
Yeah.
To
Tape. We're gonna play something off this cassette. So this is one of 4 cassettes that we recorded during the 2022 Halloween show, where Oculto, Cementali Salvajes, Satanical Pandemonium, and Weed Snake all got together on a bill, played this really cool little club somewhere in Mexico City, and we put this bill together, and we recorded the show, and was able to put a tape out for each of the bands from their sets.
Nice.
And got videos of most of the bands. I don't think I got a video. I didn't get a video of Weed Snake that night,
right.
but we were able to get them recorded. So we're gonna play something from that tape, from this tape here, from that performance. And by the way, in the shop, I have one more T-shirt from that show left.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Get the last one, folks.
Yeah. So we made some T-shirts that we gave away at the show for free.
Yeah.
That have the flyer for the show, the poster.
The one with the names listed?
Yeah, I've got one more of those left. I think it's like a small or a medium or something. We've got one more left. I think we only made 20 or so. And Sergio from Satanico, the rhythm guitar player, he works at a silk screening place.
Nice.
So he actually made all the shirts.
Nice.
Yeah, so one of the band members made those shirts. I got one left. So one of you should definitely pick that up.
Check it out on the website.
And we still have a few of these tapes left. I think of these Oculto tapes, I think we only have like 5 or 6 of these left.
Nice. Out of how many?
Let's see, 100. I believe I made 100 of these. Yeah.
Nice.
These are also available on Amazon and all your kind of big box, because they order from my distributor.
Right. Okay. So they put them up there.
Yeah, I've got them on my site, and you can get them from those sites as well,
Nice.
if they have any of them left in their inventory. But I only have a few of these left.
Is that just the tape or all the records?
Just from all the stuff's available that way.
Yeah.
You can get all of our releases on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Anybody that uses MVD distribution to purchase stuff from, they've got it listed on their sites, so you can get it from them. But we prefer you buy it from us.
Yes.
So that we get the money and the distributor don't.
Yeah, why are we promoting Amazon? Okay, let's get this tape cranked.
All right, let's see if we can make this work. Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, man. So that.
It's been an occulto kind of day.
So that was from the recording we did from the show in Mexico back in 2022.
So, like,
a red letter day.
They're probably still talking about that show to this day.
Shit was legendary.
I don't doubt it. From the way he reacted at the end, it's just like, that's what the show is for, folks. We want to get the word out about that scene down there. We want to talk about all Doom, but home base
all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. But home base right now seems to be Mexico City, Monterrey,
right. Yeah,
and that scene down there because they want to get the music out. There's a lot of it, and we're trying to help them get it out there.
Fucking amazing scene in Mexico City, and there's got to be 30 or 40 other fucking amazing bands like that.
Yeah,
I just don't have the resources to press all that stuff on vinyl. I can't put everything out. There's so many amazing bands out there.
But the beauty of it is the exposure, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, we get the word out enough. Hopefully, in all honesty, unironically, if the word gets out, the word gets out. We're not trying to hoard this thing.
True, like we don't have a fucking monopoly on Mexico City talent.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
It's just
we would love to press them all, but the resources aren't there.
Yeah.
But that's room for other people to do the same.
Right. Like there's just so much talent down there and so much amazing creativity and all the bands are different. They have a different approach. They all have stories.
Yeah.
On why they do what they do. There's just so much down there to explore.
Yeah.
Wish we could cover it all.
Well, and that brings up another thing. We're closing the show out. Comment on anything you want to see from us. Speaking of access to other bands, anything you want to see from us, any bands you want us to check out. We mostly want to cover doom metal bands, and if your suggestion falls outside of that, you might get ignored.
Yeah.
But that's, if you have a favorite doom metal band that no one's talking about, throw it down in the comment section. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
We'll
share it
you
with
see
us
what we do.
Yeah. Share it with us and we will check it out, and we will, if it's of note, we will, bring it up here in the show, and if we can get a copy of it on physical media somehow.
It helps if they have a record.
Yeah, if they've got a tape or a CD or some vinyl pressed, then that's more of what we kind of do on the show is physical media,
right?
Rather than just stream shit from Spotify or play you stuff you've already heard on YouTube.
Even we'll bring out a Sony Walkman because we don't have a CD set up yet. We just have tape and vinyl.
I actually don't. Yeah, you're right,
but
man.
we will. You see how we do with our overheads. We'll put a Walkman dead in the command center, do an overhead shot, and watch that CD spin because that's how much we're committed to physical media here.
Speaking of that, it took us a minute to get that tape right.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story, folks, that you won't hear any of that distortion, but we had to try that a few times because the cassette player kept picking up signals from the cell phone, and it was fucking with
all this.
It was fucking with the
all
the
this is
playback.
brought to you by cell phone. Every picture you see is brought to you by cell phone, and I did not realize that Bluetooth waves, cell phone waves
would be picked up by the fucking
waves,
tape player, right? Yeah, we weren't anticipating that. I guess it just coincidentally wasn't a problem last time when we did Weed Snake.
No, because we normally for those cutaways we use basically a dead cell phone.
Right. Yeah, we use the other phone that's only hooked up to the GoPro to keep it running.
Yeah.
Right. So that wasn't an issue. But today we're using a different setup. We've got different cameras, and we're using a different cell phone camera to record the wide shot of the tape player. And that thing was.
I was getting messages, and he was
getting angry messages from a certain someone, and that was absolutely being picked up by the tape player.
Well,
and
I was like, "There's no
up.
way it's causing that because it's not even connected to." He was
like,
"Dude, waves,
waves, gravity waves, bro."
And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." And
then
I turned off all the radios.
There you go, and it clean pass.
All of a sudden, it played.
Take 7 was recorded just fine. When we finally figured out what was going on.
We went through a lot, folks, to bring you that last song. I hope you appreciated that last song. We went through a lot of strife to get it to you.
Yeah, so that was from the live 2022 Oculto tape.
Which, hopefully soon, another Mexico City show?
Oh, dude, totally. Yeah, we absolutely have to get our asses down to Mexico City again and put on another show and fucking do it.
So I'm going to say it live to everyone, to the whole YouTube world.
Yeah.
I am going to this show this time. Because I kept saying I couldn't go to the first one.
Right.
Even though I knew about it months before. I knew about it, a year before it happened. Or whenever you first thought about it, I was like,
yeah,
I'm going.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't go.
Well, my friend Chris ended up going with me, and he had a fucking blast.
Yeah.
He had such a good time.
Damn.
We
gotta go.
He was absolutely having so much fun, dude.
Yes.
He ended up going to another show like the next night.
Right.
That's some other bands had put on.
He bought in.
Yeah, and he like got in a mosh pit and wore his ass out, and he's only a couple years younger than I am, than we are, and he came back to the hotel that night and he was like totally winded, but he was like, "Oh my god," just I was in the pit. Those kids don't even fucking know.
Oh man. Okay. So that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly now
it's
going to be a whole different deal.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're gonna be recording it, maybe live streaming it, maybe we're gonna be doing something. So
we're gonna make it a thing.
The Jet Check Horn is on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will apologize to the fans out there who didn't even know about this, that I didn't go the first time. I should have fucking been there. Yeah, you guys are like, this guy's crazy. What is he talking about? But no, we got it.
Well, we gotta make that
Japan,
happen. Yeah, between that and Tokyo, like we're gonna be fucking worldwide. Like, oh my god.
And we have the perfect juxtaposition of the two videos for the split. Anyway, it won't be the actual split, but like we can do Tokyo, Japan, doom metal. Splits or versus kind of videos, or not even versus, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, compare and contrast.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about. So shit. Yeah, I heard you hit on something there. Yeah, it could be worldwide within a year.
Fucking worldwide, dude.
It's already worldwide.
Yeah,
because you've gone past the equation. Well,
yeah,
no, not yet. You haven't gone past the. Yeah, we have gone past the equation.
Yeah, man. We have bands. So most of our bands are from Mexico, but we have recently released vinyl from a band in Costa Rica and a band in Peru.
Okay.
And we've got stuff lined up from, doing the split with Mexico and Japan.
That's going to be okay.
I mean, goddamn.
I'm going to
be impressed with myself, I suppose.
Stick with us, folks. I mean, just, we're I know we're new. We're coming up on the scene. But, like, a lot of this has been in progress behind the scenes, mostly with the professor, right? I'm still a student to the game. I'm Jet Check Horn. I am the student. That's why he's the professor. Kind of, if you're wondering what the hell is going on here with these names, it's like if you ever, I'm gonna get a little deep here for a second. If you ever read the book Ishmael, right? It's one of its famous lines is Daniel Quinn. One of its famous lines is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Whoa, so it's just like
deep, dude.
I know that. We've been friends for a long time.
We've been friends for a really long time.
And, but the thing is, like, it's like I've always known you're into this, and I'm like, I'm always curious about it. It's like, what is this doom thing? He's always, we get stoned, and then I wouldn't even worry about it. But then when you started the label, I was like, okay, this is something's going on here.
Yeah, something's going on here, right?
And we got to add to it because your art is about pop culture, pop media. And you're like, well, we got to include this is pop media. The podcast is the ultimate pop media of the last, of this century.
Yeah, right.
So
beats cable television,
they
for sure.
They fit together. Right? Yeah. This is, when we were growing up, this is what we wanted public access television to be.
Right, yeah. Public access TV never really quite became this way. It wasn't really that accessible to the public. It really didn't happen.
When you walked in there, you wanted to compete with the big boys.
Yeah.
You wanted things to look sharp. Right. You wanted things to work.
Yeah.
You wanted to be, you're like, I can compete. I can walk in here and try to compete.
Yeah.
But they didn't even give you the tools to compete.
Yeah.
With this picture, especially that picture you are going to post on Instagram that you took earlier.
Oh, yeah, of our rig here.
Of the rig.
Yeah.
This gives you the opportunity to compete.
It's quite a Franken mesh of stuff that we're using too. Like we've got all this different tech kind of coming together to try to make this thing happen.
But it all works. I mean,
it all works.
But it's all built to go together.
Yeah. It all kind of comes together and brings the world doom.
We just don't have enough cable stays. That's why it looks Frankenstein.
Yeah, we could we could get that rigged up. We sell some more records and T-shirts, man.
There
Then
you
we can get that shit hooked up. So hey, if you wanna support your boys here, seriously, straight up, buy some shit from the shop, and and we can fucking improve the setup here.
Well, and to tie things into that, we do want to grow this community, right? We want to grow the people who want to just do what we do, talk about Doom, expose new bands. We're figuring it out,
Yeah, we are literally figuring this out as we
on
go.
the fly,
teaching ourselves as we do it. Yeah, straight up.
So that's why I kind of stumble and hesitate talking about it because I don't know shit about it. However, I know those are the avenues to keep something like this going, right? We want to interact with you guys, and it's too easy to interact with the audience than before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So drop a comment, send a DM.
Yeah.
Don't send me a dick pic. Don't send him a dick pic.
Although
send me a pic of your cute girlfriend.
Yeah, because this is
with the band you want to hear, and
the only name room for this so far is the fuck room.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
I get it because there's a lot of comic books around, nerding out.
I don't know, man. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to say that.
Well, I see his perspective on how the room is sexy as hell. I think that's what he was getting at. That's how I'm going to take it.
I appreciate the compliment, right? But it was just kind of like came out of nowhere. I'd call it the fuck room. All right, man.
Well, if you've seen episode 3, the history of Doom, or where we get some of the racy covers in here.
Yeah, we started. Yeah, that started with the history of Doom. Yeah.
So
straight up.
And when he said it like that, I was like, well, I mean, yeah, we've said plenty of times this is all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So, but you can't promote the fuck room as your home base. I don't know. We're not Jake Paul, so
right. Yeah, like that's for other podcasters to.
I think so.
To claim.
That's not our arena.
I suppose. Yeah, that's not really what I was going for.
We want that more in the back. We don't want that out front.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, damn. But I appreciate the compliment, I suppose.
Send us comments on naming this.
Yeah, what we should call this.
What should we call this?
We should call this
studio.
Yeah.
All right, man. Cool.
Is that it? Are we gonna wrap it?
I think we've wrapped it up.
We
with
got
that.
it there. I think we fucking covered
rambled
everything.
on enough. Yeah.
We stomped on everything that we could possibly fucking hit today.
All right. Next Thursday. Check it out.
Yeah. Hit us up next Thursday, you guys. All right.
See ya.
Laters.